Have you ever looked at a cat and wondered why they seem to prefer the empty cardboard box over your expensive affection? You are not alone. Dogs might give you their hearts on a silver platter the moment you say hello, but cats? Cats make you earn it. And that is exactly why earning a cat's love is one of the most rewarding experiences on the planet. But how exactly do you crack the code? How do you transform from a mere human roommate into their chosen, undisputed favorite person? Welcome to the ultimate masterclass on feline psychology. Stick around because a little later I am going to reveal the Jedi mind trick of the cat world, a simple facial expression that acts as an instant trust builder. The art of playing hard to get. The biggest mistake humans make with cats is treating them like dogs. When we see a dog, our instinct is to rush up, use a high-pitched voice, and shower them with immediate physical affection. If you try this enthusiastic approach with a cat, you have already lost. Cats are predators, but because of their relatively small size, they are also prey animals. This dual nature means they are naturally cautious, highly observant, and easily overwhelmed by sudden movements or aggressive energy. To make a cat like you, you have to practice the art of playing hard to get. Ignore them. Yes, you heard that correctly. When you enter a room with a new or timid cat, do not lock eyes with them, do not reach out your hands, do not make a beeline for their hiding spot. Sit down, read a book, look at your phone, and let them observe you from a completely safe distance. This reverse psychology works wonders in the feline world. By ignoring the cat, you remove all the social pressure. You are actively signaling that you are not a threat, that you have no demands, and that you respect their personal space. Curiosity is a cat's driving force. If you are the quietest, most unintrusive thing in the room, eventually that feline curiosity will take over. Number 5. Pet-safe Bolt Automatic Laser Light Cat Toy. If you have looked into cat toys at all online, you have probably seen this tall, white bowling pin-looking thing. I bought one immediately because everybody talks about it and it has been around for years. The concept is pretty straightforward and easy to use. You sit it on a coffee table or the floor, turn it on, and a little mirror inside wiggles around to bounce the laser across your room. It has a built-in timer that automatically shuts off after 15 minutes. That is actually a really great feature, so your cat doesn't get completely overstimulated and stressed out. But man, we really need to talk about the noise. I don't know exactly what kind of motor is inside this thing, but it sounds like a tiny coffee grinder. When I turned it on for the first time, my cat completely ignored the laser on the floor and just stared directly at the machine itself. The mechanical grinding noise totally ruined the illusion of a bug or a mouse scurrying away. Also, this thing absolutely eats batteries alive. It runs on standard AA batteries, and because there is no rechargeable option built in, you are going to be swapping them out constantly if your cat uses it every single day. I mean, we are years into modern tech. We should really have a simple USB charging port on this by the Jedi mind trick of the cat world. I promised you a secret weapon, and here it is. It is called the slow blink, and it is arguably the most powerful tool in your cat charming arsenal. In the animal kingdom, a direct, unblinking stare is a sign of aggression, dominance, or an impending attack. If you stare wide-eyed at a cat, you are accidentally threatening them. To show a cat that you are relaxed, friendly, and mean them absolutely no harm, you must use their own calming signals. Wait until the cat is looking in your general direction. Soften your gaze. Do not stare intensely. Then, slowly and deliberately, close your eyes. Keep them closed for a full second or two, and then lazily open them again. It is a look of utter contentment and vulnerability. By closing your eyes in their presence, you are telling them, I trust you enough to let my guard down. It is an incredible thing to witness. If the cat feels comfortable, they will return the gesture. They will give you a slow blink right back. When you exchange a slow blink with a cat, you are practically giving them a feline hug from across the room. 3. Feline motion-activated laser toy. This is exactly where the technology actually starts matching what we as busy cat owners really need. I was incredibly impressed when I finally set this one up in my hallway. The absolute standout feature here is obviously the motion sensor. You literally just mount it to the wall, turn it on, and walk away. When your cat strolls past it within about 10 feet, the toy wakes right up and starts a play session. I mean, that is completely genius for keeping them active while you're at work. I actually tested it by setting up a little camera to watch my cat during the day. Sure enough, she walked by, the laser clicked on, and she spent the next 10 minutes doing literal backflips trying to catch it. It then shuts itself off automatically and just waits patiently for the next time she walks by. The laser patterns it throws are also wonderfully erratic. It doesn't just do boring, lazy circles. It zips, stops abruptly, zigzags across the baseboards, and then speeds up. It genuinely triggers that deep hunting instinct. You know your cat is heavily invested when their pupils get huge and they start doing that little butt wiggle before pouncing. It also recharges. Number 2. Yiv Life Laser Cat Toys. If you want something that feels incredibly premium and is just ridiculously reliable, this is exactly the one. I unboxed this and immediately it just felt heavier and better constructed than almost everything else sitting on the table. Let me explain why I love this one so much. The battery life on the Yiv Life is completely unmatched. I charged it once, left it on the automatic setting, and it ran for nearly a week of daily play sessions before I even had to think about plugging it back in. It has a massive battery capacity compared to all the others. It also features multiple mounting options, but the base is wide and heavy enough that it actually works perfectly just sitting independently on a bookshelf. The motor inside is virtually completely silent. Even sitting right next to it while filming, I couldn't hear it moving at all. The laser beam itself is also noticeably brighter and sharper than the competition. Some cheaper toys have a weird, blurry red dot, but this one is incredibly crisp, even in a room with the curtains wide open during the middle of the day. My cat never once lost track of it. Honestly, there is barely a single flaw with the Yiv Life. It is durable, entirely silent, and keeps a charge for what feels like forever. It was so close to being my #1 pick. Mastering the feline frequency. We have talked about body language, scent, and play, but what about sound? How you speak to a cat matters immensely. Cats possess an incredibly sensitive sense of hearing, far superior to ours. They can hear high-frequency sounds that are completely inaudible to humans. Because of this extreme sensitivity, loud noises, booming voices, and sudden shouts are highly distressing to them. To make a cat feel safe and naturally drawn to you, you must consciously moderate your volume and tone. Speak to them softly, using a gentle, soothing register. You don't necessarily need to use baby talk, but a melodic, higher-pitched tone is generally perceived as much less threatening than a deep, booming one. It mimics the gentle trills and soft chirps that mother cats use to naturally communicate with their kittens. Pay close attention to the sounds they make in return. Cats rarely meow at each other in the wild. Meowing is a specialized language they developed almost entirely to communicate with humans. If they meow at you, talk back. If they offer a little cheer-up or trill when you walk into the room, acknowledge it with a soft greeting. This verbal tennis match makes them feel heard, valued, and understood. The power of predictability. Cats are creatures of absolute habit. In the wild, strict routine is a matter of survival, knowing where their territory begins and ends, knowing when prey is active, and knowing exactly where they can safely sleep keeps them alive. Domestic cats carry this exact same biological need for structure right into your living room. Chaos, sudden environmental changes, and unpredictable schedules cause them intense hidden stress, and an anxious cat is never an affectionate cat. If you want a cat to truly like you, you must become a steady pillar of stability in their world. Try to feed them at the exact same times every single day. Schedule your interactive play sessions for the same evening hour. Clean their litter box with religious consistency. When their environment is perfectly predictable, their baseline stress levels absolutely plummet. They no longer have to constantly worry about when their next meal is coming or if their territory is secure. When you are the calm architect of this peaceful, structured environment, the cat recognizes it. They view you not just as a roommate, but as the benevolent, reliable guardian of their sanctuary. The long game of feline affection. As we reach the end of this journey, there is one final, overarching principle you must fully embrace. Winning a cat's heart is a marathon, not a sprint. You simply cannot force a bond. You cannot demand their affection on your schedule. Every cat is an individual with their own unique history, distinct personality quirks, and strict personal boundaries. A confident kitten might warm up to you in a single hour, while a rescued adult cat might take weeks or even months to finally feel brave enough to sit on your lap. Respect their timeline. Celebrate the tiny, quiet victories. The day they choose to sleep in the same room as you instead of hiding under the bed is a massive win. The day they finally close their eyes and give you that slow blink is a triumph. Never punish a cat for swatting or hiding. Instead, ask yourself what you did to make them feel pressured or unsafe, and gently adjust your approach. Making a cat like you is ultimately about building a relationship based on mutual consent, deep respect, and quiet understanding. It requires you to step entirely outside of your human instincts and learn to communicate purely on their terms. It takes patience, unwavering consistency, and a whole lot of empathy.